Hello, I'm Jake Edwards. I'm a vice president in social finance. I'm delighted to be here with you all today. I think we're all too familiar with today's uncertain economy. People aren't just looking for jobs are looking for people. To address this challenge, companies must shift from being talent consumers to talent investors. We're seeing promising examples of this nationwide, like the Google Career Certificates Fund, which Google and Social Finance launched earlier this year. Through this fund, Google is investing $100 million to help 20,000 people learn new digital skills with training providers like Merit America and Year Up, with the goal of achieving $1 billion in wage gains. In today's session at SOCAP, we'll explore what it takes to design and manage a fund like this and discuss learnings from additional examples of employer-led workforce investments. But first, I'm delighted to be joined by Brandon and Amy, two graduates from our training partner, Merit America, to get the learner's perspective on how programs like this are enabling their success and what the opportunity means to them. So Brandon and Amy, thank you so much for being with us today. To get started, I'd love to just hear a little bit about yourselves. What were you doing before you enrolled with Merit America?
Before Merit America, I had been working at an Amazon distribution center for about 2 years. I had been working as a problem solver as well as operating heavy machinery. So I was that girl driving a big, crazy machine. So it was really fun job. It was also a lot of hard labor. I had had 2 back-to-back spinal fusion surgeries during my time with Amazon. Unfortunately, I was no longer going to be able to perform the hard labor that I had been doing. So I was really in a time of uncertainty in my life, and I knew I needed to find another career path. And lo and behold, one day in a bathroom stall, this is my favorite part, I saw a poster, and it was talking about a program, a nonprofit called Merit America, who was offering a career pathway to get into the IT sector. And the best part of that is they said you didn't need a bachelor's degree. And so that's a little bit about how I got started before Merit and how I got introduced to Merit.
My name is Brandon, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Before Merit America, throughout the pandemic, I too was working for Amazon, but I was Amazon shopper with Whole Foods. I was doing gig econ work like DoorDash, Instacart, and the like. While bouncing back and forth doing these gig econ jobs, one day I received a random email, just a promotional email from Merit America. And most of the times when you see emails, you sort of disregard it or just kind of like move it to the side. But something told me to just take a chance and just jump on it. And I went into the IT track, the IT cohort, which I've always been, interested in technology. So I thought it was a plus for me. And that's how I got into Merit America myself.
I love that. Thank you both. And how have things changed since you've completed the program and moved on to your subsequent careers?
To go from such a place of like uncertainty and being a single mom, not sure where my next job is going to be, or if I'm even going to be able to perform that job. I was very fortunate. So I was connected with a program called Career Circle. And from Career Circle, I got introduced to a company called Tech Systems. And my job progression, I do contract work. I've worked at amazing companies such as Microsoft, BBVA, and now I work for the San Diego, California School District. So I think sometimes too, just to help, future learners and people that are, considering doing this, I like to talk numbers because, let's face it, we're looking for a wage increase, right? We're looking for a way to, be self-sufficient and sustainable. So Merit America, when I started, I was making $15 an hour. My first job that went up to let's say $40,000. My next job, I went up to $56,000 a year. And now I am at $79,000 a year. And so this is starting from 2019 to where I am today. So it's just monumental. It's just fabulous.
I came from a point in my life where, I felt like I was going through a dark tunnel and I couldn't see the end, going out every day doing gig econ work and not knowing if I was going to make it, if I was going to pay bills, if I was going to be able to pay my rent, So now I'm a lot more comfortable. I'm a lot more stable, and mentally I feel better as well. With financial stress, you do see a decline in mental health. So I feel my mental health has increased exponentially since graduating from Merit America. Through their partnership with Infosys, I was able to get a job there, being a tech support associate, which is similar to Amy's company with Tech System. They do contract work, so they work with various companies. And through Infosys, I am actually under a government contract with a company called Aerojet Rocketdyne, which basically designs and engineers missiles and rockets, and works directly with NASA and the United States government. So I went, and this is also a remote job where I work from home. So I went from basically working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, going back and forth, not knowing if I was going to make ends meet, to now living more comfortably and being more mentally healthy. So it's a big difference.
Wow. Well, congratulations to both of you. It's truly incredible. And a testament, I think, probably to the work that you invested and the energy you invested in the program. So congratulations. Would love to hear a little bit about what you perceive as the role of corporate employers and what they can do to make it easier for learners like yourselves to get relevant skills that ultimately land you in the positions that you have, whereby you're able to have meaningful employment.
So I think for employers to be able to incorporate non-traditional talent, such as myself and Brandon, one of the big things for me when I first started applying to jobs was every entry job level or entry job that I looked at, right, said that you needed to have 5 years of experience to apply to this entry level role. And it was just mind-boggling to me. Or they would use a lot of jargon that I didn't understand. So it just automatically would make me feel that I was not qualified, or I was underqualified, or I wouldn't get the job if I applied. And one of the great things about Merit is Merit teaches you to apply to those jobs anyways, right? Because we've gotten the skills. So I think something they could do to kind of help, incorporate more diversity and inclusion in their companies is to make those job descriptions more geared towards the skills at hand that are needed to do the job, right? So if we're talking about, hey, we're working over here with SQL and Tableau and R, then list those skills. And that way people can at least know that, hey, I've got this certification under my belt. I know how to do SQL. I can apply to that job. So they don't automatically feel discounted. Another thing I would like to point out is Amazon. One of the great things they offered was a career choice program. Not only did they offer so much money a year towards your education, but they included certificate programs in there, such as Merit America, where you're going to get your Google certificate or your data analytics certificate. So offering programs like that, as well as, if you want to go get associates, we'll put towards that too, but also include programs like that as well for your learners or future talent.
I'm really big on collaboration. And I think more employers should collaborate with other companies, such as what's happening now with the Google Certificates Fund, and collaborating with organizations such as Merit America, which helped myself and Amy. And also with IT, there are a multitude of certificates, range from Google, Microsoft, CompTIA A+. A lot of those certificates, they aren't cheap. It would be great where, you can get real certificates and have a great knowledge base that you can learn and grow within your company. So it would make you, it would make you feel like you're gaining experience and having a more long-lasting career, and being more knowledgeable in your role as well.
Thank you so much, Brandon and Amy, for sharing your journeys with us. I'm struck by much of what we discussed today, but a few salient points stick out to me. I think the first is that there's a tremendous difference between a job and a career, and what that means for your health, your family, your well-being, and your fulfillment. I think the second piece is that meaningful employment is not dependent on the traditional post-secondary pathway, but rather far more dependent on gaining relevant and practical skills that are informed by employers. And then third, Brandon, you touched on this at the end, but technical training is an important ingredient, but all the features that surround that training, whether it's career coaching, mentorship, or other supports, are just as, if not more important, to the ultimate success that we're hoping to achieve. It was great hearing Brandon and Amy's experiences in the Merit America program, and we now have the opportunity to get the perspective of Merit America and Google and how they engage in partnerships like this.